Hey guys, Scarra here, and I have something really special to share with you. So, Riot just announced their newest game, TeamFight Tactics, and I, last week, got invited alongside a lot of other playtesters to privately test their game. I wanted to share with you what I thought about the game, what the game actually is, as well as what I think the future of the game could look like, as well as any positives or really big downsides I saw in the game itself. Now let's talk about what the game actually is. First of all, TFT is the first game to put the S in Riot Games. Yes, I know they made a board game. Doesn't fucking count. Genre is auto chess. Actually, the genre doesn't exist yet. No one knows what to call it. This Riot Games is an official announcement that it's called this, and this is their explanation for the game. Agreed or disagree, I don't know what it's called. I'm just gonna call it as it is. It is a Dota 2 custom map that came out late last year, I think in November or December. The genre is summarized as, my summary is, you pick units from a shared pool, you find 3 units of the same kind to make stronger versions of them, you build an army of up to 10 units of different classes and races, and then you build the army to beat everyone else's army. It's an 8-player game, kind of King of the Hill style. So this video will have a lot of comparisons between Dota Auto Chess and Teamfight Tactics. I'm going to use DAC and TFT just to shorten it so I don't have to say those words the entire video. The most important thing, very first thing you should know is there are 50 champions or units on release. The full list is not disclosed, but it's very, very similar to Dota Auto Chess. In Dota Auto Chess, there's about 50 units. In this game, there's about 50 units as well. From memory, there's units like Lucian, Graze, Fiora, Vayne, Triss, Cat, Blitz, Ashe, Lulu. I'm reading off a list, by the way, that I made up earlier. Sol, Rek'Sai, Nid, Gnar, Ahri, Varus. I don't remember the rest. I'm very sorry. My memory is not that good, but you get the gist of it. There's a lot of champions that will serve as units in the game. Stuff that's very, very close and dear to League of Legends players. If you guys would like to see more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe as usual. So, in Dota Auto Chess, there is broken down to races and classes. There are 13 races, 10 classes in Dota Auto Chess. And you know what? There's 13 races and 10 classes in TFT. Hell yeah, it's exactly the same. Except for instead of races, we call them origins, because that's how we have to spin it. So they're origins, not races, and 10 different classes. So these are the classes from Dota Auto Chess and the races. Basti, put it up. And these are the origins and classes from TFT. So I know none of this is disclosed, so I had to ask them specifically if I could talk about it. They said yes. All of this is done through memory. I didn't get a list except for what the exact origins and champion classes were. I got the list from them. Okay, let's break this down one by one. So let's go through origins. Demons should be pretty straightforward. Their special ability is the mana burn. Dragons, stuff like Shyvana, they get magic immunity when you get the pair of them. Exile, it's really just Yasuo. You get like a separate shield buff if he's alone by himself in a corner. It's actually really funny. Glacial, stuff like Sejuani has a chance to stun per auto attack. Robots, it's only Blitzcrank in the game so far. I actually completely forgot what he does, but Blitz is also a nice unit that hooks people, so he's also in the game. Great. Imperial, I forgot what they do, but they're an origin. Noble's kind of interesting. So they're the equivalent of the Goblin buff in Dota Auto Chess, and there's 6 of them. So everyone from Kayle all the way over to Fiora and Garen, and to be honest, you could probably guess the rest. Like there's 6 nobles, really cool. Ninja, they have a really fun bonus where they get bonus damage if there's 1 or if there's all 4 of them. Shen is in the game. He's a ninja. It's really nice. Pirate, extra gold per round. This one's really cool. It's an RNG amount of extra gold per round at the very end if you have the pirate passive bonus. Stuff like Gameplank is in the game. Stuff like Pike is in the game. Phantom curses random enemy units to start with 1 health. It's not 1. It's like 100. This is kind of cool. I think Kindred is a Phantom as well. Wild attack speed buffs. It's like Dota Auto Chess troll buff. There's a couple wild units. I think Gnar is part of them as well. Part of this class. Void armor pen. This is really weird because like Rek'Sai is in this, but also there's mages like Kassadin. So whatever happens, they have an armor pen buff for your team. Yordles is just dodge. It's the same thing as elf buff and DAC. Let's go through classes. Assassins, the same exact thing as DAC. You get extra crit chance. Assassins exist like Pike, like Katarina, and yeah. So just assassins, there's 6 of them, or I think there's 6 or 7 of them, and you get a buff if you have 6. Blade Master, you get a chance for an extra auto attack, and the extra one is an extra 2 auto attacks. So these are kind of interesting. I think Shen's a Blade Master. I think Draymond's a Blade Master. He's kind of a powerful unit as well. Brawler, extra health, kind of reminds me of the Orc buff in DAC. You get extra health for 2 units, and I think Rek'Sai is considered a brawler in this game. Elementalist, summons an elemental tank. This was actually bugged when we play tested, so it did not work, but it is in the game. Brand is an elementalist, and that's all I can remember. Guardian, armor for nearby units. Leona and Braum are the 2 guardians in the game. They're like they're just like a nice tank little set you can get for any kind of combination of units for your army. Really cool, really nice little buff and positioning dependent. Nice. Gunslinger, completely forgot what they do. Their range class. And one of the gunslingers is Graves, who's a melee champion in this game, which is actually hilarious to me. Additionally, there's also Knights. They block basic auto attack damage. Stuff like Garen, stuff like Mordekaiser are Knights. Rangers, they attack really fast. Lucian, Tristana, Vayne, all Rangers in the game. Shapeshifters, they shapeshift. Pretty obvious here. Shyvana is one of them that I talked about before in the Dragons. We have stuff like Nidalee and Elise in the game as shapeshifters as well. And sorcerers are your classic mages. Stuff like Aurelion Sol, stuff like Ahri, Morgana, Lulu are all sorcerers in the game. So that goes over pretty much all the classes and all the origins in the game. It may seem overwhelming at first, but I think that after one game, we got a list of like all the origins and classes, and immediately the playtest group kind of jumped straight in games 2, 3, 4, 5. The most important thing is not how much there is, it's how quickly could you pick it up. Did you enjoy playing the game? And I can say like everyone pretty much enjoyed it a lot and just kept wanting to play, and we learned very quickly how to do this. Of course, we're very experienced players in the playtest group, might work out differently for other people. Let's keep going to more interesting things. The item system. The item system, oh man, this is gonna trigger people, some people. It was made by Certainly T. This guy is famous for making some of the best and craziest champions and worst champions in League of Legends. This guy came over to now work the item system for this game, and I want to say the item system is really unique, and it's very powerful. So the item system involves combining 2 items into one two items, and when you drop 2 items together on one unit, they combine into one bigger upgraded item. So pretty simple when you talk about like that. So for instance, 2 BF swords are built into an IE that allows you to crit more. 2 teeters will build into archangels, which will allow you to get your ultimate faster. Very simplistic system in its core. However, the items in this game are significantly more powerful than Dodo Auto Chest, especially the last item on the list. So there are 8 base items in the game: BF Sword, Recurve Bow, Needlessly Large Rod, Tear of the Goddess, Giant's Belt, Chain Vest, Negatron Cloak, Magic Dust. The dust allows you to do broken things and break the game, but it's also very rare. So for instance, here's what you can do with dust. They'll allow the champion wearing the item to become another class. For instance, let's say you have a Blade Master, you equipped it with a dust combined item, and they become a sorcerer as well. You can see how that's pretty broken, but you can also see how it adds more depth into the game. And the ultimate item in the game is called Force of Nature. League of Legends players will know what the item was. It's a very old item. It requires 2 dusts to combine into Force of Nature, which allows you to ignore the unit cap. Ultra powerful thing, but also remember very rare item combination. The golden interest system is identical and in TFT as it is in DAC, as well as the shop, upgrading units, and having 5 quality tiers of units. If you know anything about the game, it sounds great. Should be great for you because the transition should be pretty straightforward. The leveling and the win streaking and loss streaking is similar, but with a little bit of tweaks. The leveling in this game is you spend 4 gold to get 4 XP instead of 4 gold to get 5. As well as win streaking and loss streaking happen immediately. Usually when you win streak, you wait 1 game and then you start win streaking. But in this game, you win, and then your second win is considered the win streak start, and your second loss is considered the win streak start as well. Riot envisions this game as somewhat as of a party game. Something like Mario Party, and their big spin on the genre actually is this next thing. So in Dodo Auto Chess, there's 8 different positions, and the middle island, there are 8 different islands, and the middle island does nothing. In TFT, the middle island is called, well, I'm gonna call it the carousel. I think that's what they call it too. It's a brand new mechanic. I'm gonna call it the carousel mechanic. At the beginning of the game, And every 5 rounds or so after, I think it's 5 or 6 or 4 or 6, you'll teleport to the middle of the map where a carousel of 8 champions with 8 items will already be there, spinning slowly. I think it's in a clockwise direction like this. Outside of the first round, and this is where it gets really, really fun, all 8 players are frozen and will unlock based on their life total, with the last place unlocking first. So this is your comeback mechanic. The last place every 5 rounds will get to choose, or sorry, use their little legend to run and try to snag whatever champion and or item that they can get before everyone else. And the people who are placing higher will be frozen longer. So I think they didn't tell us the exact time, but it felt to me about 0.5 seconds of each person gets frozen for a little bit more. So for instance, and this is an example, the last place will get unlocked first, then half a second later the 7th place, then the 6th place will be unlocked a full second later, and so on and so forth. The last place person gets unlocked like 4 full seconds later, or the first place person, sorry, he's the last person to pick. And this is where all the action happens. You'll have to prioritize what champions you want or what items you want, or both. Like, you should have a list. Okay, well, I'm playing sorcerers and I really want this Ari, but dang, you know, I can't believe this guy took Ari and that guy took Morgana. There's no sorcerers left, but I kind of want this Negatron cloak for an item, so I'll take this over, even though there's nothing else that I can, or there's like nothing else that I originally wanted left. And you have to make those kind of sacrifices, and it gets really fun when you play with people because there's a lot of yelling and people get pissed, but it's like it's all in good fun, and I think that's great. I really like this mechanic in the game. It's one of the best that I've dealt with, and it forces more interaction between the players, so it doesn't feel like you're just playing like a one-on-one type of game. This should be a team oriented thing where you're playing against each other and should have interaction, and I think this is a great way to have interaction in these types of games. I talked to you about what Teamfight Tactics is. However, what I think is fairly important is my opinion on the matter as well. As for someone who playtested it, which by the way, I never really talked about who I playtested with. The experience I won't talk too much about, but the playtesters I played with were 7 pretty popular personalities, streamers, content creators. So they're all from the Hearthstone scene. Let me put that out there right now, and you probably know all of them. I play with Crypt, I play with Trump, I play with Amaz, I play with Hafu Dog, Lothar, I play with Savich. All of those players were in the same playtest as me, and we were considered the North American playtest. There were 2 other playtest groups, the EU playtest group and the Korean playtest group, that playtested it at the same time, in 3 separate rooms, back to back to back. So my playtest group was fairly skilled at these types of games and gave, in my opinion, a pretty fair challenge in between everyone, as well as really, really good feedback. So some of the things that we talked about in the game were that the game itself, well, first of all, I should say that the game itself is going to be changing wildly here and there. So I've talked to the developers of the game. They're changing this on a daily basis. They made the iteration of our game with their 30-member crew, which is their entire crew working on the project. It's 30 people. They made our iteration of the game, I think, in 6 weeks. And they changed the build within the hour that we played it. They found a huge game-breaking bug, fixed that, and shipped it out in the next build that we play tested the next hour. So they're doing a lot to change how the game looks. We played a build that wasn't super polished. Some stuff didn't work. Assassins didn't jump correctly. Shapeshifters didn't move correctly after shapeshifting, as well as the fact that there were missing like UI as well as visual and audio stuff. But we played and tested the core gameplay, which generally felt really solid. Everyone just wanted to spam games. So with that being said, what else is on the radar? What should I look for? If I acknowledge that the game itself is good, and you guys trust my opinion, which of course you do, you guys are here, you guys know I speak that good stuff, right? So what's the future for Teamfight Tactics look like? So in my opinion, TFT is in a great position to popularize the genre. And so what I mean by this is this genre came out last year, end of last year, and it's really not that popular in the West. Like, a lot of times I see people play it in China, and I can't even find a lobby for my skill level on the West Coast or the East Coast. In North America, I have to play on the Japan servers most of the time. So I kind of see it as a potential Fortnite situation where Fortnite maybe, regardless if it was the best iteration of the Battle Royale genre, what it did was it popularized and made it mainstream so for other people to play. And the reason why Riot can do this is because it's built into the client And so they already, people who are already playing a superstar game are going to have immediate access to play another game without having to do anything. And that's huge for being able to just like get the genre moving and get people get people's eyeballs on it. And so I'm really comfortable in saying that I think this genre is here to stay. And I know people were asking, what's the next thing after battle royales? It might be this. I don't know, but I do think this type of game is going to stick around for a while. Next thing that makes me really I feel pretty good about is the fact that I talked to the devs quite a bit. They have a what I would consider a skeleton crew for this type of stuff. They don't have that much red tape to push through, which is something that I've heard about for Riot's other projects, and something that's a really big deal for some of them. And I really like the people working on it. Like I know Stab Magic, I know a bunch of the people back there, and I actually stayed an extra 3 or 4 hours after dinner. I think it's 2 to 3 hours after dinner, just talking to them from everything about like, okay, so what's your communication plan, like what's your release schedule look like are you guys gonna have ranked? By the way, they're having ranked. It'll be out very soon once the game launches. So obviously, as a person who's fairly competitive, I'm pretty excited. But not everything is good. So I want to make very clear the faults that we found when we played this game. So Riot, kind of pulled us aside and was just like, okay, this is a game that we want to be more, we want it to be a party-oriented game, and we want this game to feel fun and it feel relatively shorter as well. However, when we played the game, we only found that the damage done you would die quicker, but the games itself at the highest level of play, at the very last remaining players, were not any quicker than Dodo Auto Chess. Additionally, because the board space is actually smaller than Dodo Auto Chess by quite a bit, this is probably the biggest complaint amongst all playtesters. By the time you got to 8, 9, 10 units on the board, you really didn't have any nuance. Like, the thing that makes me interested in the game is how much depth does the game have. But there wasn't any nuance in positioning because there wasn't enough places to position or place your units, because it was a much smaller board than Dodo Auto Chess. This may not be something that casual players care about, but something that was big for our play group, which is obviously very seasoned or understands the genre, if not are just like very good at the genre themselves, was that the board size was not very good. Now, for what I understand, I talked to them and they're maybe doing something about that, but was a very big issue in playtests. However, I'm really happy to see this happen, and I'm really happy to see the characters I play in League of Legends come to life in a game mode and genre I really enjoy. Like, I play a lot of auto chess, and you can watch my stream anytime in the last year. I've placed 3rd, 2nd, and 1st in the last 3 auto chess Twitch Rivals tournaments. Thank you, my teammates, for carrying my ass, by the way. So I'm very happy to see this type of genre move to League of Legends, and after talking to their balance team, I have a lot of faith that they're going to be able to do stuff well. And worst case scenario, if they do stuff poorly, Riot would never have a shitty game attached to their IP. They'll 100% they'll patch that shit instantly. That's my complete faith in their balance team and Riot as a whole. Maybe it's far-fetched, but we'll see. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys would like to see more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. As usual, love you guys, and see you guys later.